Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna Nama Prabhu ki jai. Welcome all of you. So today I'll be talking about the very revealing experience that I had about 10 years ago, which changed my whole Japa. I want to share with you the experience which I have described in module. For 10 years back, I felt like for a few days I should take off from Bangalore temple and go to the Mysore farm. There was nobody, it's a very quiet place. I wanted to stay there 10 days. And I went with the determination that these 10 days I'm going to chant every day 108 rounds. Accordingly, I reached the Mysore farm and then I settled into the guest house. And to help me out in case I needed anything, during the daytime, a middle-aged gardener was made to wait upon me outside the room. And as usual, I started, as planned, I started my chanting morning, 5 o'clock. And till then, I had not gone anywhere beyond 25 rounds. So when I finished my 16 rounds, after that, somehow I went up to 25, 30 rounds. Then it became very difficult. Mind was saying, do this, do that, check out the mail and call Bangalore for something. All kinds of things were coming into my mind, including, some ideas, some realization I got. Let me go and type it out, all kind of things. And I was thinking, I knew that if I take away time for anything, then I will not be able to complete 108 rounds by night. So therefore, that was a discouragement for me to actually deviate into anything else. But so I continued doing, and it was a big struggle. And somehow, with great difficulty, just finished by night 10 o'clock, I finished. Still, I was wondering. Anyway, I withstood that, thinking that, I have to do it because, Japa is a tapas. So I had to take this austerity. So somehow or the other, I completed. And then next day morning, I saw this gardener. He had come. I already had done a few rounds. Came by about 9 o'clock. So it suddenly struck me that this man is sitting outside my door doing nothing. Why can't he chant? This is Yuga Dharma. Anybody can chant. Anybody is capable of chanting. This is Yuga Dharma. So then I thought, okay, let me make him chant. And suddenly, I thought, what is a way to make him chant? What will I tell him? Then suddenly the Lord in the heart inspired me that you have to present to him as a work, because these people only carry out orders. No complications. Only tell there is some work to be done. Can you do that work? So I went to him and I told him, I want to give you some work. Will you do it? Why not, Swami? I come here only. I am waiting here only for you, or anything you give me, I'll do. Then I told him, I sat on the step outside the room and I told him, just to go over there. And there was a sand heap of sand taken out of the river. I said, get me 108 small pebbles, bring it over here. So then, he promptly went and got 108 pebbles. and I told him, place it on the steps where I was sitting. Then I told him, you do one thing now, you take one stone from the heap, count how many are there, and as you count, you put them down in the lower step. Then he was amused. What is this work? So one by one he did it. Finally, he completed. Then I said, bring them back here. Again, chant one, then second one, say two, then say three, up to 108 you count and you bring it there. He did it. Now I told him, I took out one mantra card in Kannada, Hare Krishna Mahamantra. I said, you please read this. He said, no, I am not educated. I cannot read all this. What can I? Then I took about 15 minutes to teach him in a phonetic, the phonetic memory, 2 words at a time, Hare Krishna, like that, somehow or the other, after 15 minutes, he learned the mantra. Then I told him, now your work is, you chant Hare Krishna, this mantra once, take one pebble and keep it down, bring it down. Like this, all the 108 should come down. Chant one, bring it down. Chant one, bring it down. Again, he was amused, he was smiling. What is this simple? This is a very silly job you are giving. I said, no, you do it. He did it. I said, then bring it back also. So I was sitting there half an hour. I was observing him. His mind did not go anywhere. He completed 2 rounds. Revelation 2. Then I felt, he is doing it so simply, it may not be difficult for him to do 16 rounds also. Because there is no complication in his head. Chant once, take one beat, keep it here. Chant once, take one beat, that's all. Then I told him, okay, I'll give you a little more difficult work. What is it? You go and get me 16 bigger stones. We went and got 16 bigger pebbles. Keep it by the side. Then I told him, oh, you take 2 and keep it on another side, because you have completed 2 sets of 108 Hare Krishna. Now you carry on. I'm going into my room for my Japa. You finish this 16 times. Repeat this 16 times. Can you do it? Just simple. Even a child can do it, he said. Then I remembered what Prabhupada said. Even a child can chant. He's using the same words. Even a child can do it. And he was very amused with the kind of work that I have given. So I went right, and I was doing my Japa. And my second day of Japa, as usual, struggle, full of struggle. Austere, tapomaya Japa. Mind was so much fatigued. Mind wanted to give up. Because this forcefully holding attention, he wanted to give up. The mind used to go for this work, that work, so many things. Mainly thinking. I want to type something. Main enemy was the thinking. Somehow again, okay, by evening I went, I came down, afternoon, lunchtime I came. He had done quite a few rounds. And by evening, he had completed all 16 rounds. It really shocked me. And he was joyful. That means he did 16 attentive rounds. And he had no tapasya. Then I started wondering, I have chanted for 30 years. And I am having such a big struggle to chant. This man is coming new first time. And he is so easily chanting. It defies common sense. I should be able to do easier than how he is doing, than what he is doing. So that started making me think. So in the night, I searched in the Veda base, and I was shocked to find some quotes of quotes of Prabhupada, read. They were most crucial ones, which changed my entire perspective about Japa. See, these are truths that are right under our nose, but it just misses it. That is why I call it as open secrets. It's so open, you don't take it. Now, hear these quotes. Prabhupada says, the process is that you chant Hare Krishna and exactly the same sound you hear. Note, exactly same sound you hear. This is meditation. Exactly the same sound you hear. Next quote. Chanting, you simply hear. When you say Hare Krishna, you try to hear the very sound. Hare Krishna. That's all. Nothing more. This is meditation. Prabhupada says nothing more. This is exactly what that Gardner did. Okay. You don't keep your mind elsewhere. You keep your mind on the chanting. Hare Krishna and hear. Mind you, the Gardner, because the mantra was new to him, he was hearing. Because without hearing, he doesn't know when mantra has ended. Then only he will start the next mantra. It has not yet gone into a practice into him, because very consciously he is chanting mantra after mantra. So he is hearing. So practice it and you will see how spiritually you are making advancement. Prabhupada is challenging. You chant and hear that what you are chanting and see how you will spiritually advance. You simply chant Hare Krishna and try to hear the sound, that's all. Again he says, that's all. Earlier he said nothing more. Another quote. Yes, when you chant, you must hear also. That means when you chant, you must hear. That means simultaneously, concurrently. This is attention. This is yoga. The chanting must be heard by you. That is attention. With attention, should hear. So, I was also, after that, from evening after I came to know that he completed 16 rounds, I really started thinking about it. Even before reaching this goal, I was thinking that exactly what did he do, which I am not doing, what mistake am I doing? So first thing I concluded was thinking. Mine was a thinking japa. Then he was not thinking at all. He was doing simply because the mantra was new, he was hearing the mantra. So maybe by hearing the mantra, energy has come for the mind. But for a new person to chant 16 rounds, whatever it may be, the mind will not allow. Because of the newness of the mantra, he had to hear. Because he was hearing, therefore he got energy. So he was, and then another thing, he was focusing on each bead, one stone, chant. So mantra after mantra after mantra, his mind was repeating mantra after mantra, not like a tap water. That means bead by bead by bead he was doing, which is also that is also one important point. And he was not thinking, because the mantra is new. If he thinks he will miss out the mantra. So he is supposed to know the mantra. So these 2 points that he was concurrently chanting and hearing was my discovery, my analysis. So anyway, let me check. I went to the Veda base and I was shocked to find this revelation. In normal times, if I had read these 4 quotes, again it would have not struck me at all. You should chant and hear that very sound. This is called concurrent chanting and hearing. Chanting come hearing. Not that you chant and you hear. Chanting come hearing. As you are chanting, you are hearing. So then Next day morning, I decided I want to chant exactly like this gentleman. I want to see whether whether my mind has to. So I started my chanting in the morning. And exactly like I was in the mood of the same person, like a simple person. First time I was told to chant Hare Krishna. So took bead after bead Hare Krishna. No complication. It is like a task. Chant here, chant here, chant here. That's all. But chant, very important, hear that very chant. These quotes of Prabhupada struck me so deep that the secret lies in hearing the very chant. Chanting and hearing cannot be disconnected. Chanting come hearing is one activity. Chanting is a doing activity and hearing is a knowing activity. In Japa, we don't do two things. There's no two doings. There's one doing and one knowing. So hearing is not a doing. Tendency is for us to think that, oh, I have to chant and hear. Two things I have to do. That is wrong. That is where that's our catch. We try to do two things. Hearing you cannot do. Hearing you have to know, because there are jnana indriyas and karma indriyas. Karma indriyas you can do, but jnana indriya is meant to know. So the two kinds of action from the heart, seeing and doing, that means knowing and doing. Just like a child walks from one point A to point B, a baby walks. You tell, go to that point, go to the corner. Then the child starts going. What is the child doing? Simultaneously, the child is walking, doing, and also knowing what he's doing, so that he keeps the direction. He has a goal also. So that means simultaneously doing and knowing the doing. Similarly, our japa should be on each bead, doing and knowing the doing. Not doing plus another doing. No. Doing and knowing the doing. They are linked up. Doing and knowing is linked up. Another example I'll give you. Just like playing table tennis. You're hitting the ball. Your batting is doing. But constantly your eyes is knowing the ball, where the ball is going. So are you not doing simultaneously two things? One doing and one knowing. But you are not doing two doings. One doing, one chesta to do, kriya chesta, another chesta to know where the ball is. Exactly in the same way, there is only one doing, chanting. Other thing is simply knowing your chant. That means it gets connected. Chanting come doing. Normally we hear things. Normally we do things. We say that, oh, you are not hearing. Suddenly, say, we are, Prabhu, so difficult. And you go on struggling to hear. Or then I have to be attentive. So trying to chant attentively. So either one moment, we take only any one of them, then our knowing tendency goes for thinking. Or our doing tendency goes for something else. So in other words, concentration means focusing our doing attention and knowing attention. Jnana Indriya, when it uses the attention, it is called knowing attention. When the Karma Indriya uses the attention, it is called doing attention. So doing attention and knowing attention can work simultaneously. Otherwise, nobody can do two doings at a time. With attention can be there only on one doing. One doing and one knowing put together is called concentration. This is what I discovered. This is the meaning of concentration. So I started my japa. Next day morning, charged with these two quotes. Clearly in the background, I kept in this mind very clearly. Chant and hear that very sound. Chant and hear that sound. This Prabhupada's quote was going on in the background. Because see, we have a short-term memory and a long-term memory. We can always, load our mind, our background mind with a short-term memory for a few hours, and for for a day, it will remain in the background. That is why, but finally, it has to go deeply. Long-term memory is going into subconscious. But that is the reason why now after the japa sessions, 2-3 days your chanting is very nice. Why? Because it is in the short-term memory. Ultimately, our goal is by repeating it, it goes and sits in the long-term memory. So that not 2-3 days, permanently my japa quality should. Okay, anyway. So this was in the background of my mind. That I never, took my background out of, background was completely directing me. Background mind was directing me. And hear the chant. And you will be surprised. Chanting went on so smoothly, I could realize, because I could contrast the previous day's chanting, so much of fatigue for the mind. But I found the energy so much energy coming. First 2 days, I wanted to keep the beat back. Okay, when am I finishing? 10 o'clock. I finished my vows. Chanting. That used to be 10 o'clock. Next day, I found that around 8 o'clock, I had finished my rounds and I didn't want to stop. I didn't want to keep the beat back. That cycle of chanting and chanting and chanting and hearing, chanting and chanting, come hearing, chanting, come hearing. It was actually giving spiritual energy. And believe it. In 108 rounds, done very smoothly, with energy, and at the end I didn't want to stop, and all along when I was chanting also, I no tiredness, I wanted to chant more. So here, this is a very important thing to understand. It is not about, somebody may say, okay, all of a sudden one day you could chant so nicely, Prabhu, because you are chanting 30 years, because of that, all that benefit you are getting. Now you are telling us we are new, and suddenly you are telling us you can also in 6 months you can do this. Yes, mindful japa can be done in 6 months, because doing mindful japa is not a great spiritual activity. It is a question of doing the things rightly with our mind. It's a mind technique. That's why it is not mindful japa is not necessarily a soulful japa. Anybody practices, the mind will behave that way. Knowing and doing should not be separated. And then I was there in the farm. I spent rest of the week doing my rounds very nicely, and every day I had more and more discoveries. Every day after finishing 2 hours, I used to search in Veda base and get confirmed so many things. And then every day this man was finishing 16 rounds. Gardner. So that means 8-9 days that Gardner did 16 rounds. And he was also of course he had some idea that it's about God, God's name and all those things. Yeah, but he didn't know even Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he was even a non-vegetarian. What do they know, the villagers? They know something good will happen. He was coming back and telling me I was looking for my child to shift to a new school. So long I was waiting. I didn't ask him anything. Oh, I said, I'm chanting this. That is why, yesterday I got admission for my daughter. Like that, they themselves are able to see. So anyway, so basically, chanting and hearing are not two different doings. Please understand, catch this secret. Hearing is not a doing. There's only one doing, chanting, and one knowing. And I gave you 2-3 examples how you can simultaneously chant, you can simultaneously do and know. Baby walking, table tennis, you can do simultaneously. It is not that you have to take attention from doing and put the attention on hearing. No. Jnana Indriya will draw knowing attention. Karma Indriya will draw doing attention. Simultaneously, two kinds of attention can be given on the Nama. So, with that, I have now made the first training module. How to train our mind to do this simultaneous or concurrent. I call it as concurrent. Concurrent chanting come hearing. To convert mindless japa to mindful japa, only this training is required. Only because it's a mind training. You're teaching the mind about doing something. So this is a big solution to inattentive chanting. When we struggle for something, just like you see, if I try to push this book with a knowing attention, will it move? No. It's an activity. I need kriya chesta for it. So similarly, if I try to do hearing, that means when you do hearing, you do not know what to do. There's nothing to do as far as hearing is concerned, because at least chanting you have to move your tongue. Hearing you don't have to do anything because it goes and falls on your ears. Hearing means you have to know. Any jnana indriya is done with the mind. Mind is required for it. So knowing attention. So there is only one doing and one knowing simultaneously. Many more examples I will give you as I go towards this. Now next training module I kept for 4 weeks. Actually this training module for concurrent chanting come hearing is 12 weeks program. Okay, before that let me tell the viewers that this is a very serious study course. So you may not be wanting to spend time on it if you're not really learning this systematically by reading the modules and coming every day to absorb what I'm trying to see. This is not a general YouTube, Bhagavatam class or general spiritual subject class. No, this is just like you go to, when you sit in a chemistry class, you know that you're going to learn chemistry. And in chemistry class, you cannot ask physics questions. In the same way, I don't want anybody, please, excuse me, don't post any questions which are not connected to the module that I am discussing. Those who are really wanting to ask questions on the module, they'll be deprived of the opportunity by asking different questions about some question about prasadam, some question, just like I see some Kalki, what about Kalki? Not, we are focused, it's a focused study group. So because you should value your time also. If you want, you can exit. Those who don't want can exit. But I want people to be serious about it, because it can really change your job. It changed my life. First time my life was changed when I read Prabhupada's books in IIT library, where I read from Prabhupada that the Krishna is the supreme personality. He's a person, absolute truth. 2 pages changed my life. After that, next thing, after that changed my life, consequences was I joined the temple, everything. Next changes happened after reading these 4 quotes of Prabhupada. It's golden quotes of Japa. Golden quotes of Japa. That should get embedded in your background mind. And it will direct your chanting attentive. To cure inattentive chanting. So, after 12 weeks, now I am going to give lesson for 4 weeks. Only for 4 weeks. And after that, I'll give for next 4 weeks and next 4 weeks. But all 12 weeks are for loading the direction that we should chant and hear that chant into the background. So the background also has facts, faith, feelings, direction also. That seva. Seva means how to do the seva. So this is that. So now we are not bringing all those things. That training time. Training time. No, it's Krishna's name. Forget all, because at training time I should have feelings of surrender. I should have all those things. Forget it. Only one thing you have, the training in this training module. That I am offering this whatever I am doing is an offering to Savior, to the Lord, to the Nama Prabhu. That's all. Immediate offering to the Nama Prabhu. Chant and hear his name concurrently and offer. Chant and hear and offer. Chant and hear and offer. Just like you take water from the Ganges, pour back. Take water from the Ganges, pour back into the Ganges. So in the same way, you receive the holy name in here, chant here. So 4 weeks, let me now go into the first 4 weeks. Before that, let me tell you what is the objective. The objective, the method of training, first I will tell you the method of training. The method of training is, first of all, I will engage you in a foreground activity, because all activities are in the foreground. Even if you want to load something in the background, you have to engage in foreground activity. You have to engage in foreground activity. For instance, when you chant, let us say, you want to memorize something. It all begins with the foreground activity. You'll read and you'll repeat and all, then only it will go inside. So even now, what is my objective? My objective is to keep in the background. Now I am going to practice chanting. In the background, I should have very clearly these quotes of Prabhupada, which is giving me a direction in the foreground for my foreground activity. So, okay, fine. So first, before what I do is, I take my beads. Before I take my beads, I read the quotes of Prabhupada. Only one quote out of this. For first 1 week, I am going to give 2 quotes, first and last quote. You practice this. So, where Prabhupada is saying that background objective is to charge the background with knowledge and determination of linking the chanting and hearing. That is the main thing that I want to go into the background. So before I start each round, 3 times, I will first of all I have a printout of this 2 points. And I will read that 3 times. Like a child, mood of a child, obedient child. Oh, this is the way it should be. Read it. So it will go into your short-term memory. It will remain in your background. Enough for 1 round. That direction, in that direction, continue now, start foreground activity of Japa. First was foreground activity of feeding into your background. You start the foreground activity of Japa. Bead after bead, be directed by what is in your background and chant and hear that very sound. Chant and hear that very. Each of the bead is an offering to Savior. In this way, complete 108 rounds. After completing 108 rounds, again 3 times you read. It takes only 1 or 2 minutes to read these 2 quotes. I've divided for 4 weeks, 1 quote and one more quote together, two quotes at a time for 4 weeks for background practice. And then finish again 1 more round, directed by the background means short-term memory. How to do is there in the background memory. Execute that. Execute. 3rd round, 4th round, or after each round, 1 minute to 2 minutes it takes to do this. What is that? Feeding your background. And during chanting also, take a printout of this and keep it also outside. You don't have to read that, but it will trigger your memory. That means you're taking help from background also, background mind to chant and hear that sound. Also, you're taking from the quote outside, from inside also you're taking. I should chant and hear that sound for each bead. So in this way, you complete your 16 rounds. Do this for 4 weeks. Next 4 weeks, I will tell you what is to be done. It is also similar exercise. I will tell you what is to be. Little difference will be there, like adding one more, little more, 2 more dimensions I will add. So in 12 weeks, this how to chant and hear simultaneously will get embedded, the direction will get embedded, and because you have practiced doing the chanting and hearing by taking direction from the linking up with the background, you see that you are able to practice even linking up. Automatically your chanting will take direction and inspiration from that instruction of Prabhupada, and your chanting will. So practically 12 weeks you are doing only this mindful japa, because you have to be here and now, each bead, because the training is about each bead, chant and hear that. So you have to be here on the bead, you have to be there, your attention has to be on the bead. So this is the module. I request you to, those who have not read, please at least read now the module. There are a lot of other things that I have explained in module number 34. The analysis of how this effective. And before I go to the second 4 weeks, within that time I would have prepared you with some more models, some more modules with a lot of examples of basically end of 12 weeks. You should know what is doing attention, what is knowing attention. What is chesta? Effort for doing is different from chesta for knowing. That's all. These 4 things, if you understand. And the fact that chanting comes under doing and hearing comes under knowing. And that we cannot be isolated. Both doing and knowing attention should be together. Then that is concentration. If I give only doing attention for a work, my knowing attention will go somewhere else, and whichever is more interesting, there my doing will go. Or if my knowing attention is doing attention is gone somewhere else, only knowing, oh, I want to hear, I want to hear, I want to hear, I want to hear. That means you are only giving knowing attention. What happens to your doing attention? We cannot keep quiet without doing and knowing something at every point of time. All this I will explain. The very fundamental tendency of the soul to do something or know something. Do and know something. And when doing and knowing is on the same thing, it is called concentration. Not that your doing is on this mantra and your knowing is on the next mantra. Not that one mantra I do and other mantra I know or I hear. No, doing and knowing should be on the same object. That is called concentration. Just like the table tennis, when he's playing, what can he, suppose, let us say he takes knowing attention. Can he play? He cannot play. He needs both knowing attention and doing attention. So we will, any 3 minutes, I'll take current questions. Nothing much. Okay, we'll take all the questions on this. I'll start with, I'd filter out the questions and I'll come prepared, so that all our times are very fruitively spent. And this course is going to be more and more rigorous. I told you, it is not rigorous if you follow every day. There's a great, benefit in this. You follow that. If you don't want to follow, the result will be you will think this is all very complicated. One lesson you miss, you will feel it is all complicated. And then this is the last thing I want people to think, that japa is complicated. All this is meant to say that japa is very happily, easily performed. We do it in the wrong way. So this soulful japa is not a session to make people, just because so many modules are written, don't get scared. Essence is simple. To tell something, to tell one simple thing, you chant, and here I have to come tell so many things. It's all preamble what we have. It's a preparatory work. So start your practice from tomorrow. You can send me your feedback in the Telegram, this thing. Any questions you have, you can send those questions there also. Question answer session is there. Mostly I will answer there. Let me preserve my time for communicating from my side to all of you. Okay. The more content in the modules. And when I see that it's a very nice question, useful for everybody, I will bring that question up and I'll answer that. That way, rest of the session, we just finished introduction. You're going to learn so many things. So thank you very much. We'll meet again. Tomorrow we are meeting. Tomorrow we are having Brahmotsava, but in a very small way. Still, I will not break this. I'll address all of you tomorrow, same time. Thank you very much. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna Nam. Ki Jai.